Good morning, everyone. Uh, Today is Monday here in the country where I live in, but I'm gonna be staying at home because I woke up with a flare gout. I mean, a gout flare, not a flare gout. And it's a bit painful today, so I don't think I'm going to leave my house and walk around and make it worse. Because from history, and it has happened to me before. I tried walking with a gout flare, and it just made it worse. And it got worse, and to a point where I couldn't walk, and the I had to wear crutches. I mean, use crutches to walk around for a few months because of that. And as a transplant patient, it happens to me because some medication that I take, I've had history of high uric acid, and taking medication for the kidney transplant, is sometimes makes it worse, and because of that, I get gout flares like this. So, but I haven't had any gout flares for about 6 months already, I think, or 6 months or a year, almost a year, yeah, I think. So today is a bit unusual, maybe because of what I ate yesterday. But anyway, I've already taken medication for it. I'm just waiting for it to subside now. At least it's not as painful as the ones I had before, a few years ago. And as you can hear, the children are playing on the school next to my place, to where I live. So sorry about that. They're just trying to have fun over there. Once in a while, you'll hear the teacher shouting instructions and all this. But they will stop in maybe after 10 minutes or 20 minutes. I guess it's their break right now. So I'm just gonna talk about this guitar, and probably some of the other guitars at the back. So this one is the neck of the late 60s Strat, which is I guess a limited edition from 2023. So this is the neck of the late 60s Fender Japan, FSR, blah blah blah, and the body is the candy apple red one, this one. And I put it on the body of the 50s traditional 2 from Fender Japan, right here. So now it looks like a Michael Landau, I guess, a Strat. I think I should get a better camera, so that I can show so that the camera can show the real dimensions of the guitar. Because with this one that I use, it warps the images, and it just makes it wider and everything. Anyway, so this is a 50s traditional 2 Strat, but the pickguard is also from the candy apple red one there. The whole pickguard, including the pickups. So these are Fender Japan's pickups. Version of vintage sounding pickups, but they sound nice. So I don't know if it's the same with the traditionals and the other models, but they look the same from the inside. The model names are the same from the inside. I like the sound of them. And surprisingly, they're not very noisy. They don't have too much hum. And so, uh, yeah, it's black, large headstock, rosewood fretboard. Uh, I can't say it's my favorite, but I like it. Uh, it's a different. I would guess I would say it's a different kind of guitar. I mean, for the color, because it's black. Most of my guitars, most of my guitars are either cream or other stuff. But after many years of owning the, okay, story time. When I was young, the closest to a Fender I can the closest to a Fender that I could get was a Squire, and it had the same color like this with I think it was an Agathis fretboard. I don't know what it is, but it looks like rosewood, but it's dark, and it's got a small headstock, like 60s style headstock. Basically, the guitar looked like a black 60s. So it was my first Squire guitar that I scalloped, and I had that guitar for several years, and I hated the color. I mean, I hated the guitar because of the color. Because that time, I think it was I can't remember Hurley, but when I was younger. Back then, it was a Fender. I couldn't afford a Fender Strat, and there was not a lot of Fender Olympic white or cream colored guitars from Fender in the Philippines. In those days, there was only one company that sells all the Fender in Manila, and they hold they hold the franchise I mean, they hold the reselling of Fenders. I mean, they hold the license of reselling Fenders in Manila, especially from Fender Japan. And then one day, I think Fender Japan stopped the selling from stopped selling guitars outside of Japan, and they made it into just domestic ones, because I guess they were so good, and they were very well built. I guess Fender USA just told them to stop selling because USA Fenders are declining. The sales in USA Fenders were declining. I don't know. It's just a guess, but I would think that's what happened after Fender Japan restricting selling guitars outside of Japan. Anyway, so that time I really wanted the cream colored guitar with a large headstock, basically an Ingve Malmsteen Strat. But of course, I couldn't afford it because I was young, and Fender was under one company, and they make the prices really very high, and not just that. I'm not very rich. I mean, I'm not rich, so I just couldn't afford it. As a student, by the way, the same company that sells all these musical instruments, Fender, Jackson, there was one big company back then in the Philippines, and it was the same company that was where my school is, the music school was, that I used to go to. I'm not gonna name the company. I'm not gonna name the music school, but it's a school that is from Japan. Some people, I guess some of you can guess, but it's a school from Japan, and they only teach classical music. So back then I studied classical guitar, but I really wanted to play electric guitar, which now I regret not doing, pursuing playing classical guitar. I did play for a few years, but then electric guitar was just really. I just couldn't resist playing electric guitar and rock music. But I wish I had the knowledge and the logic to think that studying classical guitar can help me a lot in a lot of ways. Like they did they teach theory and all this. Basically, every aspect in music they teach. And I was there for about 2 or 3 years, except for those years when I got sick, and because I got sick with something from drinking too much and drinking alcohol too much, and I stopped going to that school. But I still taught myself how to play electric guitar. And at that time, the electric guitar I have was before the Squire. This was before the Squire, because the Squire I had in, I guess, late 90s, early 2000s. But I think in 1995 or 6, I had a Strat, which also has the same color as this. So basically, it's the same color as the Squire, with the 60s style neck shape and the color and the rosewood fretboard. But it was from, I think it was from Korea. Yeah, I think it was from Korea. It was made in Korea, or I can't remember now where it was made. Yeah, I think it was in Korea. It's not the. It's not Indonesia. It was made in Korea. I think the brand was. I can't remember now. I think it's Lyric, Lyric. This brand now in the Philippines, they also sell this brand. I mean this company, the Lyric brand. I guess they now in the Philippines they sell Fenders and Tokai. Tokai is also a Japanese-based guitar company that makes Strat copies and Les Paul copies, but they make it very almost accurate. Like, it's very nice. Almost accurate, because they don't really follow what Fender's doing. What, like, for this type, this is 70s, late 70s headstock, and then they just call their models what they want, like a 50s and a 60s. Even though a 50s they have a 50s model, a Tokai 50s model that has a small headstock and a rosewood fretboard. And I mean, 50s were known for its maple neck, so there were 50s, late 50s made Strats that had rosewood neck, but originally it had a maple neck. Anyway, back to the Fender guitars. So back then I really wanted a Fender Strat with cream color, a large headstock, basically a 70s Strat, because I know I cannot afford a Malmsteen Strat. And finally, present day, after having several YJM Strats, and basically all the other colors, I mean colors that I like, I think I got tired of the cream color and the maple neck, so now I like this color now. I have a gold color Strat. I have a Sonic, a seafoam green Strat, or surf green Strat. I have the candy apple red there. I have the sunburst here. I mean I think this is a 3-tone sunburst, which is I guess it's a 58, not a 57. Yeah, because from what I saw on YouTube, there was only 58s, not 57s had 2-tone sunburst. 58s had a 3-tone sunburst. Anyway, I have the natural finish here. So, but I don't have a black Strat yet. I mean a black with the large headstock. So this originally was the 50s body Strat over here, with this neck. So this one's neck, small headstock, 50s neck. So I just swapped them. I like the look of this black Strat with the large headstock. I guess I'm not gonna buy any more guitars from Fender because I already have the colors that I like, and I don't think I'm gonna see. And plus the large headstock with the late 60s style, without anything here, without the bullet truss rod end, without any hole, or without the walnut plug. As long as there's nothing here, that's my favorite one. I like the truss rod adjustment on the heel instead of the headstock, except if it's a Fender 70s bullet and truss rod style. Because I don't like having something here that catches my attention. I like the vintage look of Fender Stratocasters. For a 50s with the walnut plug here, as long as the shape of the walnut, which is let me show you. Shape of the walnut here is not very pointy, as you can see, like that. There's not too much, because I've seen some old Fender Japan 50s what are models, ST57, ST58. This walnut plug here goes to about this long, which is quite pointy, and if you look at it, it looks like the end of an arrow. And that one I don't like. So I never bought any of those, even though I can see see from online that there are some old models like that being sold at a cheaper price. I don't buy them because I don't like the pointy look of the walnut plug, because sometimes they extend up to here and it looks really awful in my eyes. One thing I like about the new Fender Japan Strats are the headstock shape. Large headstock shape now. Let me fix my mic. Maybe I put it near. Okay. So the headstocks now of the Fender Japan Strats are almost, I think they're close to USA Fender Japan, USA Fender dimensions, because it's got a bigger, what is this, bigger edge under the Fender logo here, and bigger rounder, and around the bigger round shape here on the end. Plus they have a nicely routed hole for the bullet truss rod nut, and this one's a bit tolerable for me. I like it. It doesn't really catch any attention of mine when I look at it. But let me show you a Fender Japan Strat, which I don't like the way it was drilled. And you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised what it is. So this is my Fender 2015 YGM Stratocaster. And if you look at the headstock, it's got that very big excess drill hole on the headstock, and the bullet end truss rod is not covering it. It just shows there, and it looks really ugly to me, and it kind of makes it. Somebody said it looks fake, so I posted this guitar on a Facebook page, one Facebook page about Ingve. So I posted this guitar, and he saw that this this part here of the hole for the bullet and truss rod is like this, and immediately he just assumed that this guitar is a fake YGM Strat from China. I guess he doesn't know any better about, or maybe he doesn't know anything about Fender Japan or YGM Strats. Can't blame him if he's not very well versed with Fender Japan and all this. But because of this, which I really hate ever since I got it, when it was still new, you will not notice it because it was very white when I got it, almost like whiter than this one here. But because this was made in 2015, it has started to age, I think around last year or about 2 years ago. Because I remember 2 years ago I was still trying to age this by putting it under the sun, and it just didn't work. And it's just really time that and also I don't know what kind of paint they use in Fender Japan, but after a while it's like nitrocellulose. It's not nitrocellulose, but after a while it just aged like this. It becomes yellowish and yellowish, because I remember I had a Fender ST68 back in about 10 years ago, and I think it was made in 2004 or 5 based on the serial number. And when I got it, it was already starting to age. But I thought it only happens with nitrocellulose. But turns out in all Fender Japans, what they use, the paint that they use, it does age after a while. Because I've seen a classic 70s Strat when I was young. I think it was about 5 to almost 10 years old, and the paint that they used there, it doesn't age. It was still almost as white as when the guy bought it. And I don't know what's the difference, how they apply it, what they put, what brand of paint they put. But this is not nitrocellulose. This is just normal poly paint. But after a while, it will age. And I'm also guessing that after a few more years, this is gonna be very dark. It's gonna go darker and darker, because now it's already darker. When I bought it, it was very white. So how dark it is now, I'm gonna show you another guitar that I bought about 2 years ago, I think, or 3 years ago. Last year. Forgive me for not knowing when I bought these guitars, because I just bought them when I like it. So here's 2021. This one, yes, it's made in 2021. This is number 1999. Number 99 from that batch. The serial number is 99. So as you can see the difference, the yellowing of this one on the right, which was made in 2015, and this one was made in 2021. It's poly, it's not nitro or anything that should age like really nice, but they do have they do age. At least the Fender Japans I have seen, they become darker as time goes by. And And what else is see the actually I think it already, because I remember when I got it, it's really white too, but I don't know why it's just starting to, they just start to yellow and yellow, especially with this one. I don't remember having this like this when I got it in 2022, but it's now slightly darker. So what can you see from this one, which is made in 2021, and from that one? The same exact shape, same exact shape of the drill hole. And it looks ugly, right? So it makes some people think that it's a fake one, even though it's not. This is a genuine Fender Japan stratocaster from Japan. So I would guess, oh wait, also the headstock, this headstock, if you see that, I don't know if, because the camera warps the image, but it's very obvious that this part here, the round part of the headstock here, is smaller, and this part here is slightly less wider than the new traditional models. I don't know if I can compare them both. I guess just like this. I don't know how. I don't have a caliper right now to measure everything, but they do look, these made in Japan YGM strats, they look, the shape is very different from.
I look for Grace made in Japan white jackets, but it either isn't available or can't be played right now.
Hey Siri, no, hey Google, shut up. Anyway, so yeah, the shape of the Fender Japan YGM strats are slightly smaller on the headstock. The dimensions are very different. So I'm guessing they still use the same dimensions for the YGM strats from Fender Japan, because this one is a 2021 model and it's exactly the same dimension as the 2015 model. And I've seen I've had a ST72 before. It's the same dimension as this, because in 2015 I had this ST72, and I had it for until 2017, I guess. And I compared the two, it's the same dimension. So I thought maybe it's just the way the Fender Japan dialed their dimensions for the CNC machines, the mix, the neck, and all this. And then when the traditional series came out, they have the shape close of Fender USA 1. They have the bigger round edge here, and the, how do I call it? Maybe I just call this an X edge. Yeah, because it looks like an X. So I'll call the X edge here. So this one is slightly thinner than this one. And the traditional two models are closer to the USA ones. I mean, if I look at it, I know it's different. I mean, I know it's the same, I know it's different. Aside from that, Fender Japan, whenever they say that the shape of the neck is this shape, it's gonna be exactly the same. So if you put two Fender Japan traditional two strats side by side and you try them both together, it's gonna be the exact same neck shape. There's not gonna be any difference, because in Japan, after the CNC machine makes the neck and the shape and all this, I guess they don't. There's not a lot of sanding done anymore. There'll be some sanding, but just to knock off all the raised grain and all this. Like in the US, somebody will take the neck and he will shape it while he's removing the while he's removing the he's knocking off the raised grains and all this and the rough things, he's also shaping the neck, and that's by hand and by feel. So no two necks are alike. If you put a Fender Japan traditional Fender USA YGM Strat to another one, they're gonna be a different shape and feel, because there might be two people that did the sanding and all that and finishing and everything. So it's gonna be very different in feel and shape, depending on how the maker preferred the neck shape. Because what they use is just a board with with the neck shape, and they sand it on a sanding belt, and then they put the board. From what I saw on YouTube, they put a board and check if it's almost exactly the same shape, and then after that they do another one. So if I'm a guy who does I like a thinner feel on my neck, and I do it on the sanding belt, another guy might be doing a different shape. It's the same shape, it's the same C shape, but the feel gonna be different. Unlike the Fender Japan ones, they're going to be the same. So how did I know that the new Fender Japan traditional twos have a nicer shape? I mean, slightly, almost same as the USA one, because that's because I have two Fender Vintera 270 Strat already, and the shape on this is exactly the same shape as the Fender USA ones, the Fender YGM Strats I have. They're exactly the same shape. Almost this, I guess it's almost the same feel in the neck, especially the maple fretboard. Because sometimes with the rosewood fretboard, it tends to feel a bit thick, because the size of the maple neck and the rosewood fretboard, when they put it together, it kind of feels a bit thicker than the maple neck. It also happens on a YGM Strat. I've had two YGM Strats that had a rosewood fretboard. One was a Sonic Blue, and one was a Vintage White, which I had to sold on different years for reasons that I can't remember what. The most recent I sold was a Fender Vintage White. I sold in 2020, I guess, for medical reasons. I had to use the money for medical reasons, but they had the same feel. Like there's a feeling of a thick neck, and this is the same with the Vintera 70s, Vintera 270s, the two Vintera 270s that I have. The one there inside the case with the rosewood fretboard and the Sonic the surf green finish feels slightly thicker, and this neck, which is a maple neck, feels a little bit more comfortable than that one. So this is my favorite, but who knows, I might swap them together, swap the necks again, just to feel how it is. But right now this is nice, I like it. Difference between the made in Japan 70 style, made in Japan, they have that very long extra drill hole on the headstock. This is Mexico, Fender Mexico. This is Fender Mexico, and it doesn't have it. See, it doesn't have. Plus the bullet and truss rod, the bullet truss rod adjustment nut is same as the USA one. This one is Mexico, same as the USA one. For Fender Japan, they have a thicker, I think the adjustment hex, the hex screw is 5mm, or I'm not sure if it's 10mm or 5mm, but the USA and Mexico ones are a lot thinner. I think this one is 2mm. No, I think this one is 5mm and the Japan is 10mm. I get confused, but but I know when I see the hex wrench, I know that it's the one for the USA and the Mexico, and I know which one is for the Fender Japan. And so this is exact same shape as USA one, even though it's made in Mexico. They're probably using same CNC machine, same dimensions, but they do neck shaping by hand individually. So you'll get different shapes of neck shape from USA and Fender Japan. From USA and Fender Mexico. Fender Japan, you're gonna have almost the exact same shape. Why? Because the two Fender Japan YGM that I have are made from different years, and one is 2021. This one is the other one is 2015. They're the exact shape. Although the 2021 model is a bit thicker. I feel like it's a bit thicker. I don't know, but I've always thought the 2015 model one, which is the one that's yellowed, also was thicker. But now when I compare them, it feels like the newer one is a bit thicker. I don't know why, but the exact same shape. You feel the exact same shape. Oh, now I know why. Because I've leveled the 2015 one. I've already leveled it, the fret wires. So now the fret wires are lower. So now it feels a lot thinner. That's why. Yeah, now I know. That's the reason why. Anyway, I guess that's it for today's Fender lesson or rant or whatever you call it. I hope you find this video interesting, and if you're watching and you haven't subscribed yet, if you think it's worth subscribing to my channel, please subscribe, and you'll probably help me in the future. And to those who are my subscribers already, thank you for subscribing, and thank you for watching my videos. We'll do another bit. I'm not gonna do anything today, so I'm just gonna stay here, stuck in this room or in the bed. Depends on how it's gonna be after a while, because I already taken medication for it. Hopefully I can recover by today, because this medication that I take for gout is reserved for really bad gout flare, and it's been very effective for me. But I try not to take a lot of it, because it could affect my kidney, the transplanted kidney. So I have to take it in moderation. So for today, that's it for today, and thank you for watching my videos. And once again, please subscribe to my channel. We'll see you on the next video. Bye for today.